We can open from the right like we did before. Where do we use that? Anywhere we want to get that sound. Now, an important thing about that wah-wah is two things. One, we sound the note first and then open our hand so we can hear the muted sound to the open bright sound. 3 draw, let the wah open. So there's a slight delay hitting the note and then doing the wah. And you can start it pretty darn close to when you actually play that note, but we want to hear that muted sound so we can hear the difference between the muted and then the open sound. When you play a wah-wah more than one in a row, so if we go 2 wah-wah-wah, which we'll hear, don't go ha-ha-ha, allow the breath to continue all the way through. Let the hand do the sound or the separation of the notes. Now you can open from the top or the bottom if you wish. I like to open up from the bottom just because there's more meat on the bottom of my hands. I feel it's easier to close and more successful to close than the right hand side because the fingers are more bony. There's more that can leak. I will use both, it just depends on the setting. I like to go from the bottom. Here's the 2 draw again. And I'm just breathing in the whole time. So you can practice it by just blowing on a 2. When you run out of breath, you inhale. 3. You notice I'm using the end cap for this one. I'm closing off to the right side of my cheek. Again, trying to cover as much of the, capture as much of the sound as possible inside of my cup. And again, I'm playing at an angle. Most of the amplified players, as you're going to see later on in this video series, will play at an angle so that they can have their cheek up against these holes. All right, so that's the wah-wah technique, close to open. The other important thing is don't keep your hands closed after you do the wah-wah technique. Here's an example. You can't hear what I'm playing. Keep the back of your hand open, or just your fingers open, so you have a very leaky cup. Then as you go for the wah-wah, then you close open, close open, and close open, and then stay open again. So you want to make sure you open all the time. When you go to the wah-wah, then you can close wah, 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 and then stay open. A common mistake, especially playing on a microphone, your students will be playing along, they'll do some wah-wahs, and then they'll close on the last one, and they'll stay closed. And people listening wonder why they can't hear the harmonica player anymore. Not the sound guy's fault. You've cupped in all your sound. We can't hear you anymore. So that's an important thing to remember when doing the wah-wah. Now you can also do the, if we think about the wah-wah or ow, where you start open and close it. Watch the video snippet on Rick Estrin where he talks about hand techniques. He's really good at that. Listen to his recordings. He has a lot of recordings on Alligator Records. Man, he gets a great acoustic sound on the harmonica. Also, Sonny Terry, if you watch some of the videos, you'll see him bring his hands in front of the harmonica. In different techniques, this flourishing and such, you might see Sonny Boy go. Some of this stuff doesn't make a difference, but keep in mind though that anytime there's a block, in this case the hand, from the sound of the harmonica going to you, the listener, or into the microphone, there is going to be a difference in sound. Listen to the 9 blow as I hold that and bring my hand in front of the harmonica, your ears being the microphone or the camera. Can you hear that slight waver? And you can actually kind of pump it back and forth, and you have seen Sonny Terry do this if you watched any of his videos or live performances. Get this nice little vibrato or tremolo effect. So you can use some of these crazy gestures that don't look like they do anything. They sure look nice. But as a harmonica player, you're thinking, that's really not doing much. Well, it is doing a little bit. You can experiment with those type of things. Another good example is doing that Tremolo, you can do an exaggerated tremolo. James Cotton, if you go out and see him do a show, you'll see him really smack the harmonica. And it's most effective when you really smack this closed, and that when you get the hand again flesh to flesh. So you're going to be beating your head a little bit, but you're going to get a nice aggressive sound. So there's some techniques on using your hands both, and that sounds really good amplified too, but mostly talking about acoustic right now.